Hello students, welcome to e-learning session. Today in our lesson cell structure and function, we'll start learning osmosis, isotonic solution, hypertonic solution. Isotonic osmosis. Now in this type of osmosis, medium outside and inside the cell has same proportion of water. So water does not go, in such condition water does not go outside from the cell, and also the water from that outside medium does not enter into the cell. So this is the condition of cell in isotonic osmosis. The shape remain constant because if water from outside enters into the cell, what happens? From inside the water comes out, and the proportion of water remains same in the isotonic osmosis. While in hypertonic osmosis, the cell has more water than outside medium. So the water comes out of the cell and the cell shrinks, means it becomes small in size. See here, the water is coming out of the cell. It means it is coming in outer medium. Now this process in which cell lose water in a hypertonic solution is called as plasmolysis. In other words, we can say that water comes out of the cell by the process of exosmosis, means coming out of the water coming out of the cell is called as exosmosis. And this water, when it comes out of the cell, so there is a contraction of cytoplasm. This process is called as plasmolysis. What is it? It is plasmolysis. Activity. Now we will see cells in a hypotonic solution versus hypertonic solution. Now this is hypotonic solution, means pure water without adding anything. So this is hypotonic solution. Now second one. Here we will take salt and we'll add salt in the water. Now the proportion of salt will add in more quantity, so the proportion becomes high. So as a result, the water becomes salty. Now here, as the proportion of water is greater, salt is greater. Okay, this water is salty. Now we'll take 2 eggs, label them as egg A
Eggs, like
and
chicken eggs,
egg
are surrounded
B.
by a hard.
Okay, now we'll put them in a jar to de-shell, means to dissolve its shell, which is made up of calcium carbonate. We'll add vinegar. Vinegar means 0.5% acetic acid. We'll keep these eggs for 3 days. So reaction will take place and carbon dioxide, water and calcium acetate will release. After 3 days, the egg shall get dissolved, and see now the condition of eggs without eggshell. We can see only the cell membrane. Wash it under water and place them in water and salty water. This is hypotonic solution, means pure water. This is hypertonic solution. See the condition of eggs. First one, this bigger one is hypotonic because water enters into it, and this is hypertonic. Why the second egg becomes small? Because when the egg is placed in a salty water, all the water from the eggs come out, because outside in that glass there is the proportion of salt is greater as compared to the proportion of salt in the eggs. That's why water flows out of the eggs and egg shrinks, its size becomes small. We can do this activity with fruits also. Take some slices or fruits like berries. Nowadays berries are available, or amla, and put them in a sugar syrup. Means instead of adding salt, add sugar in water in large proportion or greater quantity, and put 1 or 2 berries or amla. After 8 hours, you will see 8 hours or 1 day, you will see the size of the berries become small. Here water comes out of the cells. Hence such osmosis is called as hypertonic osmosis. In hypertonic osmosis, the size of the cell becomes small. In hypotonic, the size becomes greater. While in isotonic, the size does not change. Osmosis happens in both animal cells and plant cells. This is animal cell. First one is hypertonic. Here cell becomes, it shrinks. Second one, size remains as it is. While in hypotonic, that is in third one, size becomes greater. Now we will observe in plant cell. This is a plant cell. Just observe vacuoles inside the cell. In first one, the water goes in and coming out, that one is isotonic. See the size of the vacuole and the cell. It is the cell wall is not swollen, it remains as it was. While in hypotonic, the size of the vacuole becomes greater, so it exerts pressure on the cell wall. That's why cell wall moves outward. See the size of vacuole, it becomes very small because water is going outside. That's why the cell wall, it moves inward, because water from the cell, it goes out, so there is no pressure exerted by vacuole. I hope you understood very well. If not understood, we will discuss tomorrow in our online session. So we will move to next part, cytoplasm. Start learning cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a part which is inside the cell. It is sticky, gel-like part. It is living, it is freely moving, and it is present. So this fluid is present between plasma membrane to nucleus. In this cytoplasm, all organelles are embedded. Now see, this is a cell. This vacuole, then Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, then chloroplast, all are embedded in cytoplasm. The part of the cytoplasm other than organelles were embedded. So this three part is called as cytosol. It is a site of chemical reaction. So in cytoplasm, chemical reactions, that is cellular chemical reactions takes place. So the cytosol, it stores vital substances like amino acids, glucose, vitamins, etc. I already explained what is meant by cytosol. So the part of cytoplasm other than organelles, it is a cytosol. In animal cells, cytoplasm is more granular and dense, while in plant cells it is thin, mostly pushed to the periphery or sides due to larger central vacuole. See here, it is pushed towards the sides. The size of the vacuole in plant cell is large as compared to animal cells, because plants do not having excretory system. So excretory products and other products are stored in these vacuoles. That's why the size of the vacuole is greater. So due to greater size of vacuole, this cytoplasm is pushed towards periphery, means towards the sides, and all organelles are also pushed towards the sides. We'll learn after this other cell organelles. Okay. Water cell organelles, it is an organelle. It is a specialized subunit having specific function within the cell. These organelles are called as organs of the cell. Each organelle, it has its own lipoprotein membrane except nucleus and chloroplast. All other organelles can be seen only with electron microscope. This is the structure of nucleus. The outermost covering is nuclear membrane. Inside it we can see chromatin fibers, that is nucleoplasm, and then we can see at the center nucleolus. Now there are nuclear pore on nuclear membrane also, and Close to the nuclear membrane we can see endoplasmic reticulum, but it is outside the nucleus. This is simple structure of nucleus. We can see nuclear membrane, then chromatin fiber and nuclear pore also, and inside it nucleolus. It is divided into three components. The outermost covering of the nucleus is called as nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. This nuclear membrane is made up of two layers, the outer layer and inner layer. This is made up of two lipid bilayer membranes. Okay. And this nuclear membrane, it surrounds the nucleus. This nuclear membrane is having pores through which ribosomes, which are made inside the nucleus, they comes out, and it keeps separate the internal environment of nucleus or inner environment of the nucleus separate than outer environment. Now this part of the nucleus is called as nucleoplasm. Now here chromatin fibers are embedded, and at the center we can see nucleolus. Label it as a nucleolus. See, this is a cell and this purple color is nucleus. Now we will first observe nucleus. Now inside the nucleus, these are the DNA. These DNA molecules are present in that chromatin fibers. Chromatin fibers are present in nucleoplasm. See, the outermost covering of the nucleus is nuclear membrane. We can see these chromatin fibers. They become short and thick during cell division and convert into chromosomes. See, this is rounded body called as nucleolus. This nucleolus is a site of ribosomes. Here ribosomes are formed or synthesized. Segments of the chromosomes are called as genes, and functions of the nucleus are it controls metabolic activities of the cell and also controls cell division. This nucleus is involved in transmission of hereditary characteristics from parents to offsprings. Today we are finishing up to nucleus. We will learn about other organelles in next session. If you are having doubts, please ask me in online session. Till then, bye.